Well, hello, everyone. If you landed here, you landed on Let's Talk News on this Tuesday evening, April 28th. I hope everyone is having a great day. I sure did. It's good to be home after my little vacation to New York, although lots of things are happening. But today I thought that we should kind of talk about what we have been talking about kind of over the last couple of weeks. And the show is called Is It Treason? And I thought that what we would do today was this, that I would read um, the categories of treason, what is considered treason in the Constitution. And then we would go back through time and look at some of the wackier Democrat antics or antics by Democrats against, I'm not going to say President Trump, but against the United States while Trump was president. And then we could together decide, is it treason or is it not treason? So I don't know if you all know what treason is. I mean, because I know we talk about it here a lot. You know, this one should be tried for treason and that one should be tried for treason. And the reason that I decided to do the show on this is because of what happened with James Comey. He was indicted today for the second time. And this time he was indicted on inciting an assassination attempt on the president. So one would think it would be treasonous, right? I mean, that's what I thought. And so I thought maybe you guys would be interested as well. So let's see. I am going to read what treason is, what the United States Constitution says. So it's in Clause 1. It's in Article 3, Section 3, Clause 1. And it says, treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. And then in Clause 2, the Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted. So what does that mean? That means that you can charge someone with treason, but you can't extract from them property that would go to their family, or it would not also attach itself to their family members and their kin. So when somebody is charged and found guilty of treason, it would only go so far as that person in their lifetime. And I guess that was a way to ensure that you didn't ruin generations of people from being able to make money. And also, probably it was a smart move because you didn't want to instigate someone to leave the United States as a traitor and um, and have their family members, go to another country and be sworn enemies of the United States. You'd want to convict and take care of the traitor and not and have it serve as an example to the family rather than create more enemies, if that makes sense. And then I also wanted to talk about this thing, which is the legal mechanisms for convicting someone of treason. It can only be done by Congress. So that's interesting. Also, if somebody is convicted for treason or related act, whether they are a naturalized citizen or a native citizen, they can have their citizenship stripped. So committing any act of treason against or attempting by force to overthrow or bearing arms against the United States, violating or conspiring to violate any of the provisions of Section 2383 of Title 18, or willfully performing any act in violation of Section 2385 of Title 18, or violating Section 2384 of said title by engaging in a conspiracy to overthrow, if and when that person is convicted by a court or by a court martial or by a court of competent jurisdiction, that person can be denaturalized and removed from the United States, whether you were born here as a citizen or not. So the act of treason is really it's confined to two things, really, is attempting war on the government, which would be trying to overthrow the government, or by aiding and abetting an enemy of the United States government. So I want you all to keep that in mind as we go forward, because I'm going to ask you all to make the declaration. Treason or not treason? Hi, Colleen. Good to have you. Hello to Jeff Pardo. Good to have you. Hi, Angela. Hi, Francine. Hi, Kevin Young. Good to have you, darling. Aloha from the island of lazy work ethics. There's a lot of those islands these days, Santillian. Hi there, Susan Durema. Good to have you. And hi, Ramon Hernandez. Good to have you. So since we're talking treason, let's just see about Comey. I want to know what you think about James Comey. Is what he did here a treasonous act? Now remember, aiding and abetting the enemy or trying to overthrow the government.
United States Senator, a member of...
Wrong one. Where'd it go?
Instagram post on Thursday, Comey wrote, quote, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk," under a picture of seashells that appeared to form the shapes for, quote, 8647. 86 is a slang term meaning to eject or remove. Numerous Trump administration officials, including Noam, claimed that Comey was advocating for the assassination of Trump. The post has since been deleted, and Comey said he didn't realize the number 86 could be associated with violence. Comey, who was FBI director from 2013 to 2017, was fired by Trump during the president's first term amid the Bureau's probe into allegations of ties between Russian officials and Trump's 2016 presidential campaign.
So, what do you think? Is being a former FBI director and trying to instigate the assassination of a sitting president, do you think that's treason or not? I wonder. Legislators who gave illegals health care, free housing, free cash, cell phones, etc., should be framed treason. Now, why? I need you to explain that, Jeff, because how is that aiding and abetting the enemy or working to overthrow the government? Because our founding fathers were really, really smart. They didn't want treason to be overused because they came from a government where if you spoke out against the king, you were considered a traitor. And they wanted free speech to be comfortable in the United States. So I wonder, how is that treasonous? Or are you saying that because they're trying to insert them for the purpose of elections, changing elections, would that be treasonous? Hello, Peter, Professor Romanowski. Good to have you. Aid and abetting, helping Democrats to go after Trump. Yeah, I wonder, could we make that hold up in court? Comey sees Trump as a threat, and Trump has the right to fire Comey. Well, he's been fired for since 2017. And the thing is that Trump, he was fired for trying to propagate the Russia hoax. So that's it is assisting people to break the law here Interesting. I wonder if that's a stretch or not. I'm interested. Comey thought he was being funny. Then he lied about his not knowing about what 86 meant. I hope he's exposed at trial and punished accordingly. I hope it gets there, Mike. I hope it doesn't get thrown out because, I mean, I wonder if that's going to violate his First Amendment rights, especially since he's a citizen now, so that's the whole thing. Is the First Amendment going to play in there? What a complete liar, saying he didn't know what 86 meant. Does he think we're fools? Oh, he definitely thinks we're fools. Elections for the overthrowing. Okay. Comey is a rotten cop to the core and a disgrace to the Bureau. He really, really is. And we know he is. He's Obama's boy, and he was willing to do the dirty work of Obama. I think that when Obama realized that Trump was going to win, at the last minute, that's why Comey, did what he did with the Hillary emails. But they first made sure that all those emails were gone, and they didn't prosecute her for it, right? They investigated her for it. He said that those emails erasing emails from the server were no good, but I think it was a big conspiracy. I think they were all play acting, and they wanted to have Trump feel secure with Comey, which he did for a couple of months, so that they could disparage Trump, which they did with, and I will show you what they did with this.
We're going to bring in California's Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, who joins us from Portland, Oregon this morning. Congressman Schiff, some of the investigations or lack thereof were just laid out by Kellyanne Conway from the White House. I want to give you a chance to respond to criticism that she has leveled in terms of congressional investigations.
Well, look, I think it was a broad effort to distract from the president's comments. And as you pointed out, Margaret, the president can't distinguish between any allegations of conspiracy against his campaign and the broader problem of Russia continuing to interfere in our elections. Dan Coats said this week that Russian efforts are pervasive in terms of their social media campaign to divide us. That's going to continue to the election. We see that the Russians are again trying to spearfish and potentially hack election campaigns. The only element we have not seen to date, as Director Wray said, is the hacking of voter registration databases or voter equipment. But as our intelligence chief said, that's just one keystroke away. And probably the biggest thing that the president could do is confront Moscow to establish some kind of deterrent. But instead, exactly the opposite message is being sent, and that is, and I think this was delivered in Helsinki, as long as the Russians interfere on Donald Trump's side in the midterms, Vladimir Putin can count on the president to never call him out.
So that whole Russian hoax, was that treason? Conspiracy to overthrow the government, a sitting president? Could that be considered treason? I want to know what you guys think. People who support assassins are very sick people. They're as sick as the assassins, I think. So he was inciting treason. Would an assassination be an attempted overthrow, or is the president only one cog? That's a good question, but I would think that if you are trying to kill the duly elected president of the United States, that would be considered overthrowing government, an attempt to overthrow government. I would think. That's me. Don't know that that's true. But if that's the case, then why are they bringing him up in criminal court? And why don't they just bring it up in Congress? Because more than two people have been witnesses to Mr. Comey supporting 8647. On all these three that attempted assassination, they should all be charged with treason. Here's what I think. The three, one is dead. The other two are alive. They need to be charged with treason, stripped of their citizenship, and sent to El Salvador to prison. That's what I would do. But Is it treason? That's the question. The city council here can't account for 1.8 million to remove plastic water bottles from vendor machines inside all state buildings. That was last year. Santillion, I think that your Hawaii is on fire, and not in a bad way. I think they're getting to the bottom of the rot, and I think that's great. I agree 10%. I know you meant to say 100. Nice. National Immigration and Customs Enforcement, because leftists have nice things to say. I agree. I love that. I think we should rename them nice. They gave it to the environmental NGO. Of course they did. Comey and others are a disgrace for what they've done to our President Trump and the country. I agree with that statement. How does Adam Schiff hold up that fat, ugly face? I don't know. I guess I don't know how he holds up his head, because he is a disgrace. I think the Russian collusion was treason. I do too. I think that would be easier to prove. Yeah, I do. And he was the head of the intelligence committee. So there's something there. Yeah, I think it's treason too. We still have plastic soda bottles in vending machines. So do we. Even though they were paid to remove them. I get it. Okay. Tell me if this speech is treasonous.
United States Senator, a member of the Democratic Party, and I want to bring you greetings as well from a nation that is in crisis. I'm not going to sugarcoat the gravity of what we face right now in the United States. This is the most significant threat to American democracy since the Civil War. Donald Trump in our country is trying to end our democracy. We are not on the verge of a totalitarian takeover. We are in the middle of it. He is trying to seize control of our courts, of our law enforcement, of our media, of our elections. His goal is oligarchic capture. He doesn't believe in democratic equality. He doesn't believe in shared prosperity. He believes only in the consolidation of wealth and the consolidation of power. And I want to say this very clearly to you. I want you to understand this and know this. This White House is the most corrupt White House in the history of our nation. Now, Donald Trump thinks he can get away with this in America by distracting us, by telling Americans that the real threats to our lives are immigrants or Muslims, gay children, drag shows off in Europe. He wants to turn us against each other. He's also trying to silence dissent. He threatens to lock up my colleagues for opposing him. He's invaded American cities with his personal political police force, ICE, to crush peaceful protest. But here is what I am in Barcelona to tell you, united with progressive parties all over the world. In the United States of America, Donald Trump is not going to win.
How about that? What do you think? Is that treasonous? I agree with you about sending them to El Salvador, because as a taxpayer, I'm not paying to take care of them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? I mean, that should be easy enough to get a conviction in Congress right now for treason. And, I think that would be pretty cool, especially if it was televised. But then if the Dems get in, they're going to bring everybody that was even on the lawn on January 6th up on treasonous charges, because they said we were trying to overthrow the government when we were just trying to ask them to not certify the election. But that's okay. I'll take it. Chris Murphy is just like Jimmy Kimmel, all talk, no balls, fearing one man. Yes, but was what he said treasonous? Just curious, because I said treasonous, and then I looked up the definition. Let's see. Trump is fighting for our rights and freedoms, no question whatsoever. Yeah, and it's really sad when you see that they can gaslight the way they do and lie, give out propaganda that's not true. King Charles came to speak in Congress today. He spoke more for the Democrats today, no mention of Trump. Yeah, because the United States is a constitutional republic, and the UK is a constitutional monarchy and a democracy. I forget what kind of democracy. And I'm sorry, constitutional and a parliamentary democracy. So they're the left. They are the left of. They're very different than us. Very, very different. And I understand both sides stood up and cheered for him, and he's a very good speaker. And it's a shame because Donald Trump really loved his, Queen Elizabeth, and I don't think he and Charles see eye to eye at all. But only cowards talk tough on foreign land since they won't say it on American soil. He says it on American soil, but the thing that he did after that speech was he tweeted when some people were reporting that some boats were slipping through America's blockade in Iran, and he was cheering for Iran, aiding America's enemy in time of war. So I leave it to you. Absolutely treasonous. Murphy and others saying this disgraceful. None of these butt nuggets know geopolitics and geographical trade. They want to kill us. They definitely do want to kill us. Communist idiot. They tried Aaron Burr for treason and sent him to Staten Island. Yes, that is so, isn't it? I love that you have all those good tidbits of information. Yeah, they did. They did. I mean, Staten Island, we have a bad rap. All right, what about this?
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Treasonous? That one was, it still triggers me. Still absolutely triggers me. Let's see. The parliamentarian of both the House and Congress is corrupt. Treason is big deal and action has to be taken. They know political power is safe space. Yeah, I mean, I was rewatching that, and the fact that that was not for the military, because the Constitution says that the President of the United States is the commander in chief. So you have to obey orders. If the orders are incorrect, there is a process that you can go through. But what order has been given, what undermining of the Constitution has been done, they never say. They just leave it out there. I always like Queen Elizabeth and King Charles. Treasonous undermines our military, which in turn aids our enemies. I agree with you. Reinstate and court-martial. Oh, that's really good. Did they try to do that? I can't remember. Those fuckers abused me in 2 wars. They don't give a shit. Yeah, it's true. Democrats need you is what they should have said. Yeah, right, exactly. Not America. These people are a bunch of traitors and should be held accountable for their treason. Well, Congress should get busy. I'm trying to watch my language to not be banned from Facebook. Oh, you can either put symbols in or you can just shorthand it. We'll figure it out. In other countries, these antics that they get away with here would be grounds for them getting killed. Bingo, including in King Charles's country. Okay, and that's why the punishment for treason is death, even here in America. So since today, the non-king was standing with a real king. I thought that it would be good to play this game, this treason game, because if Congress really wanted to get busy, they could spend the rest of Congress having trials for treason, which would be interesting. How about these guys? The 51 spies who lied. This 51 CIA operatives who signed a letter stating that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian interference, and then pushed for all of social media to ban any account that stated that the story was true. And this all happened just in time for the 2020 election. Is that treason? I gotta say, that one, hands down, of all of them, I think that's the most treasonous, because what they were doing was directing an election, overthrowing the process of electing a president, or corrupting a process of electing a president. So I don't know. What do you say? According to the executive branch of government, the president of the United States runs the country and controls the military. Yes. I mean, unless, but there are certain things that Congress controls, right? The House controls the money. The Senate controls the appointments of people to the judges and the secretaries and people like that. And right now the Senate's not doing their job at all. Where were all the No Kings protesters? They have a real one here. Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I was wondering. They were all fawning over Charles, but yeah, exactly. Can't even defend their colony in Falkland Islands. The Argentina great president said, "Get out." That's becoming more like a James Bond movie. What is? They banned the New York Post and Trump from social media, a legit news outlet, and the POTUS, the oldest news outlet in the nation. Yeah. So, can they be tried for treason? I'll listen to you guys. I think they can, but we're a fair, free scenario here. So tell me what you think. So King Charles was in Congress. I guess the No Kings protesters went to Burger King. Very good, Ramon. Very good. Okay, so before we go, this piece of news dropped today, and I think it's brilliant. The UAE leaves OPEC in blow to oil cartel during war on Iran. Now, think about this. The UAE is leaving OPEC. OPEC has been historically the entity that sets the price of oil. It's like the banking people, right? Like the Fed Reserve for oil. And the UAE is leaving. And, kind of since the 70s, oil has been really it's backed up a lot of money, including our paper dollar. So all of a sudden, the UAE decides that it's going to get out of OPEC. And I just know, and I know you know, that Donald Trump has something to do with this. That Donald Trump is breaking the system so that it could be rebuilt. And they now, the UAE, can set their own price for oil. And once they leave, that's it. The whole OPEC thing is gone. And it's going to be like free trade. So, people are going to undercut each other, and, America is going to get in on that. It's going to be pretty cool. So I think that, right now, the price of oil's pretty high, but I see that these Middle Eastern countries are changing the way they're thinking. Saudi Arabia, others, they're changing the way they're thinking, and Trump is right there with them. So I think that before the midterms, and certainly after, America is going to be in good shape, because the only one that understands how to create an economy, not react to one, is Donald Trump. So I think that was great news. Okay, we got a couple more comments, and then I'm going to go. I also heard today that the United Kingdom's fleet of ships is at a minimal amount, which is not good for them. And maybe that's why they don't want to help. Oh, absolutely it is. Everybody let their military go to hell, except for China, who was building it up. But Russia exploited theirs, and Iran was building theirs up. But America under Trump, thank God. And I mean, it's just, I don't think it's by accident that Trump had, the 2016, the 45 term, and then we skipped one, because we got in 46 with Biden, we got to see what the Dems were willing to do. And now in 47, Trump gets to continue what he was doing before, which was building up the military. We're the only one really that was building up our military other than China. And so everybody else is caught with their dick in their pants down and their dick in their hand. So Trump for 3 terms and changing the Constitution, presidential term limits is fine with me. Listen, then that would be a king. I don't like those, but I don't mind making either no term limits for the president and no term limits for Congress, or term limits for them all. That's where I fall, because you can't have term limits for one and not all. That's just wrong, because then Congress runs the country, which is what they've been doing. Yep, I saw they left OPEC. Watch the rest of the Middle East countries leave. Absolutely, they're going to. UAE is siding with the U.S. They certainly are. Natika Khrushchev, misquote, "It's their funeral and we shall be in attendance." Aha, got it. Watch how OPEC splinters now. We'll be paying $1 a gallon soon. I agree with that. So I think that's a great note to end this show on. Just everybody have hope. And for all you silly leftist loony cult members, and they are cult members, and Obama is their cult leader. Yeah, you are going to have your eyes open, I think. But if not, if the TDS is too strong, the rest of us will be okay. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for playing along, treason or not. I think that we have decided that all of that was treasonous for various different reasons, and that Congress should get their ass in gear and start holding trials. Too bad Rich Luthman isn't in here. Trial by combat. We should do a lot more of that. Okay, see you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Good night, everybody.